Welcome back, folks, for week 8 of building construction for the fire service. This week you'll be reading the chapter on wood frame construction, and it's important that you pay attention to this chapter because this is probably far and away the type of structure fire you're going to encounter most commonly. What NFPA would call a Class 5 building, light wood frame type construction, which we would typically find in single family residences, and you'll find some of this in multifamily residential as well. Your objectives for the week are to read Chapter 7 in the IFSTA book and then take the Chapter 7 quiz, which is right here in the Blackboard page. And our objective was to start the NCST research page this week. However, if I click on the link out to NIST's website, as you can see, due to the ongoing federal government shutdown, NIST has secured and taken down their website. So we're not able to get access to their resources. So for the time being, I guess we're just going to have to delay on this and see what happens. And I don't have a good answer for you folks about how we'll handle this. We'll just have to see when the website comes back online. It wouldn't be a bad idea for you to take some time to look through, in particular, this introduction document. The introduction document is going to kind of give you a flavor for what you're in for the next several weeks once the NIST website reopens. Basically, you're writing a paper that you're submitting just small sections in each week, and then in the final week of the course, you compile it into a final draft of the complete paper. But that's neither here nor there. We will see what happens with the NIST website. In lieu of that, because we're not able to get started on that, one of the things that I'd like to have you look at this week is this research from the Underwriters Laboratory. And this is going to be a similar module to the CFI trainer where you're going to go to their website. So if you click on this link, you can see that it brings you to a description of this course. Most of the UL training is training that you have to pay to get access to, but UL has been kind enough to make some of their training available for free, and this is one of the courses that's available for free. So you can read the description. It'll kind of give you a heads up as to what the course is about, and then you can click on Take Course. And when you click on to Take Course, it's going to bring you into this login screen. Now, probably most of you don't have a login to UL, the Underwriters Laboratory, but it's not a problem. You just click Register Now, and it's going to take you to a screen where you can create a user account that will then give you access into the program. Similar to CFI Trainer in that you watch the videos, you can complete some quizzes, and then at the end you get a certificate, and you can just send that certificate on to me. Now that does remind me, I think there are a few people who have not gotten the certificate to me for CFI Trainer. Please finish that when you're able to and send the certificate. It's still available for full credit, and I want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to complete the module from last week in cfitrainer.net. The last thing that I'd like to share with you in this week's video announcement is just a video of a wood frame structure collapse, and maybe make a little bit of a few comments on it, and then I'll conclude my comments for the week. So you can see here we've got a structure that's undergone pretty significant fire damage, and it's a wood frame structure. And you'll note that there's a significant amount of water being deposited on the building here. You can see up in this corner that we have a ladder pipe that's discharging, probably somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 gallons a minute. These look like fairly significant streams, probably coming from monitors. We're putting a ton of water on this building, and one of the things to think about is water at 8.3 pounds per gallon can become a significant live load on the structure, particularly if we're spraying it inside where it's falling on a flat floor as opposed to a sloped roof where it could have a shot at running off. If we're putting this water, for instance, into the second story, that can result in a pretty substantial live load addition to the building. It's a building that's already compromised. We're already burning away a good bit of the building structure, and then we're applying this large load. You'll notice also that at some point they had crews working on the roof. Those crews have wisely retreated gotten off of the building, which was a good tactical decision. Probably what was not such a good tactical decision was leaving these very expensive ground ladders up against a building that is clearly going to be a write-off, right? You look at this building in this state, this thing, even if we stop the fire right here, the insurer is going to push this thing into the basement and start over. So why risk that expensive ladder? And you notice that the ladder actually gets propelled into the overhead power lines, which fortunately no one was near the base of the ladder, but that's a safety hazard. We can develop gradient voltages near the base of that ladder where even if you're not touching the ladder, you could be shocked by that. So, bad situation. Now let's analyze the collapse a little bit and see if we're able to figure out maybe what happened with it. So if you see here, this corner connection has broken, and if you look at this wall here, you can see that at its base, it's coming apart, it's peeling away, and at the top, it's collapsing inward. So essentially what happened was they lost this connection to this corner wall, and then they lost, with the loss of that connection, they lost the connection to this floor here. And this whole building is just kind of doing one of these maneuvers where wherever it can slide out, it's coming apart. So again, this was a load-bearing wall. It was on the end of the flank of the roof. And once this is gone, now the roof is going to come down. Here's the chimney. You're going to see that this roof is going to break its connection to the chimney. And they were fortunate that this heavy masonry chimney did not fall towards these firefighters here. That, you can imagine, could be quite a projectile. And there's the structure just falling away. Look at the amount of fire that was in the interstitial spaces of this building. This thing was well beyond saving. There was no reason to be engaged in any type of risky activity in trying to extinguish this fire. And there you see that the chimney remains standing, which was fortunate for these firefighters. Now, one of the things to think about is, what encouraged this joint to break? Probably some part of it was the amount of water that was being sprayed inside. If you look down here, this appears to have been burned pretty severely. You can see there was a picture window here. So likely the route of this fire was large fire started on the first floor, burned the exterior of the building, did severe damage to these floor joists as it was rolling out from underneath this window, and then also commuted up the stairs, and you can see you've got active burning up here. So that'll conclude my comments for this week. As always, if there's anything I can do to assist your learning, please feel free to get in touch with me at the contacts listed in the course syllabus.